Welcome back to the Mind Mountain podcast. This is the podcast that delves deep into the mental performance side of mountain biking with interesting guests from across our sport so that you guys, the listener, can pick up tools, tips, and tactics to help you become a better rider and have more fun out on the trails more often. Today on the podcast, I've got Joaquin Madrid, who's the operations manager and one of the lead guides at RideHub here in Squamish, with over a decade of experience in the outdoor industry. Originally from Chile, he's been riding bikes since he was 16 years old, and he's got roots in downhill racing and a love for freeriding that's only grown since moving to Squamish in 2020. Joaquin has been guiding riders through BC's legendary trails, bringing his calm, supportive approach that helps riders from around the world build confidence, improve their riding, and have a ton of fun along the way. Joaquin, with no further ado, man, welcome to the show.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
Man, it's great to have you here. I want to say we don't know each other that well, but we've hung out a bit in the last year since meeting, got out for a couple of good e-bike rides together.
Yeah, man.
I'm excited for this opportunity today to dive into a little bit more of your experience that I don't know yet.
Yeah.
Let's start right from the beginning. You got into mountain biking at 16, according to the internet. How did that all come about for you?
Yeah. So I grew up in Chile. Well, I'm from Chile. Grew up in the big city of Santiago, and yeah, just like it's cool. During high school, one of my best friends introduced me for like on a bike, actually a mountain bike, and yeah, I was hooked from the beginning. I remember crashing a lot with that really crappy bike.
Yeah.
But yeah, I loved it. Absolutely loved it. And yeah, that was it. Like in Chile, it's like very race-oriented country. I think a little bit now, like it's starting to shift. Definitely shift into like more like enjoying.
Right.
Free riding. Free riding is getting pretty big over there now. But I started in 2008 without really knowing what I liked about it, but it's just like that adrenaline rush and like jumping these like really sketchy jumps, and yeah, going around like the city of Santiago is huge, which is like right now I think is around 8 million people.
Wow.
So that's huge. But there's a few spots in the heart of the city. There's like a big, there's a huge like park, like city park, that is a hill, and it's called San Cristobal Hill, and it has like a pavement road all the way to the top, and then there's like these illegal trails network. No less illegal, but back then it was like everything was illegal, and just people just trail building. The sketchy jumps are like pretty good things, and then that's where my roots are. I live there pretty close from there, and then I had like a just right when I was starting mountain biking at the age of 16. I moved to Australia.
Okay.
Where are you from? But I moved to Perth. It's like my family my dad got transferred from work to Perth, which is super flat. But I just started mountain biking, so I would just like commute really long distances just to go to mountain bike, like outside of Perth.
How did you find that transition from like Chile and the terrain you're riding there to like, the dusty, dry Perth? I know it's known for what's called pea gravel, like the little round marbles of gravel everywhere.
Yeah, so for me, it was like just in the beginning of my mountain bike career, where literally didn't have like in Chile we didn't have like big brands of bikes, so you will go to this like market where you will basically build your own Chinese bike,
right?
With like weird brakes, weird fork that you don't see anywhere. And I got that bike to Australia. It's like, I'm gonna mountain bike so much, and it's like it was really hard. But I used to go to this place called the Goat Farm. Maybe probably people listening will know.
Yeah, there's got to be someone out there. I'm from the opposite side of Australia, in
Yeah,
Victoria,
I
so I don't know.
And I would go like an hour on the train to get there.
Wow.
Just like small things. There's like a mini pump truck, but I was always talk about it. And then I moved back to Chile. I was just there for a year, and I got the chance to buy my first like real mountain bike there. I was 16 with the help of my dad, and like sold my bike there too, and I got like that Giant Glory 2008, and it was like I think it was so heavy. I think I weighted the same of the bike, to be honest.
Wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah, and then I got to Chile, and Chile was like again. And this is where I realized, like, okay, if I want a bike, I have to race. So there was like nothing in between. There was no like enjoyment of biking. It was like race. Everyone raced, and honestly, I really liked it, but I never did very well. Never did very well. But from there, I just like started biking a long time. But at one point, so around 20 years old, 19, 20 years old, I completely quit because racing, I wasn't getting any result. I was crashing all the time. They call me lija, which is sandpaper, because like I would be like, oh, and like even the people that I was biking with, you're like, oh, like the road rush everywhere, you know.
Why do you think that was? Because like I've ridden with you, you're an incredibly talented, like skilled, fast rider. Was it the pressure of being in a race environment that was putting you off?
Totally. I think I was putting too much pressure in myself, without skills like fundamentals. Now that I've coached people and I've learned from other instructors, and I've been in this instructing world for a few years now. I wish that someone told me, it's like, hey, you should have like mountain bike lessons, and you will like skip this whole crashing like seasons that you were having, right?
Yeah, there's a lot of painful lessons there that can be skipped, right?
Yeah, I would skip like 5 years of crashing. I would think. Honestly.
Yeah, that would have been nice.
So after breaking some bones and like crashing a lot in races, definitely my skills weren't there, and I wanted so bad the results, and I didn't progress fast enough. But I was very, how can you say, ballsy.
Right.
Like
had a lot of courage.
I had a lot of courage. Yeah. And that was my thing, you know. They call it in Spanish is perro bomba. That's called like, it's translated to the dog bomb. That is like basically, you know, like a crazy dog that just go for it, like a pit bull kind of thing. And it will crash, it will like stand up and then keep going and do it again, you know. Yeah. Until at one point I was like, you know, man, I'm not built for this. I don't want to keep crashing. I was making bikes. It was getting expensive. Racing is really expensive because you have to travel, you have to stay, you have to look for accommodation, entry fee, and then just for what? I think at that point I didn't understand what I was looking for, so I quit.
Right.
I quit mountain biking. I was like, first I have to get stronger. I went into like, I never quit biking because I moved to like fixed gear, like sitting biking, which it was fun. And then rock climbing was like huge for me for doing 3 full years. That was like around the age of 20 to 23, around that age.
Okay, now this fascinates me because I've done a little bit of rock climbing too, probably just enough to get myself into trouble. But I'm curious, like, is there anything you've learnt from facing challenges out there on a rock climbing wall that has then helped you when you go back to mountain biking?
Yeah, so I went into rock climbing because it was I went to university to study like ecotourism management, which is kind of like basically outdoor tourism with sustainability and a little bit of business
Yeah, amazing.
degree.
Funny enough, that's what you're doing now.
Yeah, I know. With
Really
biking,
cool.
which is
Yeah.
awesome.
It's cool meeting someone that's
it.
actually working in what they went to university for, because I know these
Yeah.
days it's often not the case.
It is true. It is
Anyway.
true. I mean, everyone reinvents themselves, but for me, and I was like always surrounded with a lot of mountaineers and rock climbers, so it was really easy to get into. Like actually, part of my courses was rock climbing.
Yeah, okay, cool.
So then it's like, oh yeah, I love these, and because he also gave me that adrenaline rush, but also it was very challenging. I was like, it's like problem solving kind of thing.
Yeah.
And it was in the community. I'm always been like very social, so the community I always liked, and I learned a lot about like. That's when I actually like went really deep into nature, and that's like also biking is connected to that. It's
So many
connected,
parallels there.
right? And but the main thing for me at that time was like fitness. To be honest, I felt so weak. I always now I'm like a little bit bigger, but I also like the skinny guy, super skinny.
But not both.
Yeah. so
Right, so learning how important that was to be able to have more fun in your sport.
yes, yeah. Like stop crashing. Like I'm so weak, I have to. So then I went to rock climbing because I saw everyone so strong. I was like, okay, I have to get strong. I hate the gym. Maybe rock climbing is the way.
Yeah, cool way to work out in the outdoors.
Yeah.
And I'm curious because I know rock climbing, you're obviously taking some pretty crazy risks as well, and you're overcoming challenges and going for moves you're not quite sure you can do yet.
Yeah, totally.
But most of the time you're roped up, right?
Yeah.
Unless you're one of those crazy free climbers, I'm not sure.
No, I'm not.
Yeah, so you're roped up. So I feel like when I'm climbing, it's that little bit different because I'm like, I'm not sure if I can do this, but I've also got in the back of my mind that I'm on belay.
Yeah.
Like the worst thing that can happen is I could whip around and
For me,
shoulder the rock. Whereas on a mountain bike, it's like I don't want to fall off my bike. It's usually pretty bad when I fall off my bike, right?
I think it's really it's a crazy perspective when you think like, okay, rock climbing is pretty safe until it's not safe, but that not being safe is like death is there,
Yep.
But the mountain biking is different. It's like not that safe, but like it's more like you'll break your bones, or something like that. It's not like like that dangerous
maybe-
when things don't go.
I think like rock climbing's like low risk but really high consequence.
Yes.
So it's like if
I
the
would say.
system or something was to fail or your partner was to fail, it's like that's really bad. You're gonna fall. Whereas mountain biking, like you're right, we can take falls, and it's not often that those falls might be really high consequence for most of us anyway when we're riding normal mountain bike trails. We'll say. Anyway,
Definitely, Squamish is great.
that's a whole rabbit hole.
See the sky.
I know for me, like so often on a mountain bike, it can be so easy to like walk around something that we find challenging. Like, I'm just not going to do it. Whereas when we're rock climbing, it's like my body's already at the top of this pitch. If I want to not do this, it's going to kind of ruin our whole day. And we're going to have to go down and, abseil off the wall here. So you kind of like have that time and you sit there and you calm yourself down, you breathe, you think about that problem, you solve it, and then you go for that move.
Yeah.
For me, being able to take back that process to my mountain biking has helped me look at things a little bit differently and maybe like spend a little bit longer on top of a feature and be like, actually, no, I'm going to give this a second look. I'm going to calm down here, see if I can figure out this move.
Yeah.
Did you find that as well?
Yeah, totally. No, you're saying it like totally makes sense. For me, I didn't quite like, I think I definitely got strong there, but at that point, I feel like I wasn't skilled enough in mountain biking. So I couldn't like relate things to another. But rock climbing definitely helped me in the like mental.
Yeah.
Because when you're leading, for example, you're not top rope, because you're leading, you have like the rope down there. And there's moments that you're like, okay, like you're like in the, whatever it's called, the carabiner. How do you call the carabiner?
The quick draw?
Yes.
Yeah.
The what? Sorry.
Is it a quick draw? Like if you're sport climbing?
Quick draw, yeah. So you go like.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
You're
You
like,
climb above.
and you get the rope, and you're like, okay, here there's like a huge slack.
Yeah.
And you're like.
And you'll fall double the length of that rope.
You're like, you fall double.
That's definitely that similar
So
leap
that's
of
like-
faith to when we're going down a rock roll for the first time or doing a new gap jump.
Yeah, like.
I think I know how this is going to go, but we can never be 100% sure until we've done it.
Yeah, exactly. So like the mental part of it definitely showed me to battle or those battles that I can do these like a really hard feature or like a high consequence thing, but then you know that you have the skills for it, but it's kind of like that fear factor, but that you can use it into your advantage, I think.
Yeah, definitely.
You know? Like it's part of the equation, but you can't let that fear overcome you. Then like breathing is pretty important. I learned about that in rock climbing, and also I feel like the whole thing around rock climbing, I love it, to be honest. I still love it. I still have like so many good friends from it, and my best friends are rock climbers, and yeah, it was a really good period, and I think that period it was very significant to me, significant enough to kind of try to connect the mountain biking to the rock climbing and the mountaineering side of things.
Right. And is that how you ended up here in Squamish?
No, really.
Okay.
Actually, when I came to Squamish, and I've been here like 5.5 years, and it's a crazy spot for rock climbing. Worldwide, know like so many people come around. Like, yeah, I've been climbing like in 5.5 years, probably like no more than 10 times.
Right.
You know, it's just like mountain biking is crazy
you
fun
know.
here, but I can get into how I got here.
Yeah, I'd love to kind of hear that story from like giving up mountain biking in Chile, taking a break, doing lots of rock climbing at university. Where to after that?
So one day, like when I quit mountain biking, started rock climbing. At one point, I started like that bug of I want to go back to mountain biking, but maybe I don't want to race. I don't know. Enduro was becoming a thing. And this is 2015. Built my like a short travel bike. It was a transition covered. It's like covered 26 inch at that time. It's still like 27.5 was just coming out.
Yeah, right.
I think. And it's like enduro racing was a thing. I was like, just not gonna race now. I'm just gonna do it for fun.
Great.
And kind of like stop rock climbing like progressively, and then until like I just like got a few jobs around mountain biking in 2016 or 2016 in that summer, because you're from Australia, so it's like summer there is December, January, February, right? I got like a internship it was like a friend of a friend that had like a bike tour company in Pucón.
Yeah.
That is like a volcano lake district down South Chile. It's beautiful. It's like a huge lake with a town. It's like the town is like adventure tourism is huge. Rafting, rock climbing, mountain biking, and it's like super popular in summer.
Really cool.
And it's like in the foothill of the volcano. It's like the most active volcano in Chile. Wow. Yeah, it's quite amazing. And I started guiding there, doing like some operations thing with them. It's called Bike Pucón, and it's no longer a thing anymore, but and I was with friends, and we take people to the volcano. That was there's a ski hill. It's a ski hill,
right?
And this very crappy chairlift there. Okay. They don't use it for bike park, not yet. But there's the sense like you started in the volcano, and then you go all the way down to the town, and it was like 2 to 2.5 hours of riding down.
Wow.
Just
That's
connecting
insane.
trails, and like you go, it's basically free riding the Alpine. It's not even called Alpine, but when you see a volcano, right, like there's no much vegetation. And so you started in the no vegetation part, and then you start going down into the forest, and then just connecting trails all the way to down there. And we do that every day. It was like, it was amazing. It was a good season. And yeah, that's when, so I came back to that.
Yep.
And then like did some other, I was like finishing my career and like doing just, like the thesis, and had a part-time job. So I kind of like didn't buy too much around that time, 2015 and 2016, I think. But how I ended up here, it was in then I went back to work again to that company, and I was like the main lead guide at that point in that company. And a friend of mine was here in Whistler.
Okay.
Yeah. And that person was like, hey, yeah, I just met her when she came back to Chile. And then she was like, yeah, it was in Whistler. I was like, wait, what? You were where? In Whistler. Yeah, this town in BC. I'm like, what?
Yeah, this is what I wanted to ask you.
Yeah.
Was like Canada somewhere on your radar when you were growing up that you knew about? It sounds like it wasn't. Just a random occurrence, right? Through a friend.
It was like, I don't know if you remember, one of the bike videos, I was always like, I'm pretty nerd into mountain biking. Like I always got very addicted to it.
Yeah.
Watching videos. When I skateboard, I watch all the videos. When like a mountain bike, I like watch all the videos. And one of the videos that actually was like my favorite videos, it was The Seasons.
Okay.
From the collective.
Yep.
And that's 2008. And it was all in BC, pretty much all in BC.
Okay, so you had this image of like what BC is and what mountain biking is there.
Also with New World Disorder 7.
Yeah.
Right, like with Fly High Again, I still remember that. Like everything was around here.
Yeah.
The Whistler bike park.
Yeah, and it lives as like this legend in your mind, doesn't it?
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden you meet someone that's been here.
Yeah.
I was the same, and yeah.
And I was like, what do you mean you were with okay? Who did you work with? And she worked for a tourism company.
Okay.
I was like, can I get a contact now? Like, yeah, here. Just contact her. It's like, and I was like a pain in the ass really to them. Like, hire me. And
Okay, so like lots of following up.
yeah, a lot of following up, but she did a great job when she worked with, it's called Whistler Eco Tours up in Whistler. And the owner of that, it's Keenan, she did such an amazing job with them that she was kind of like recommending me, and she was recommending someone because it was good, I guess. And yeah, like long story short, I got like the job offer, processed visa and stuff, came to Whistler in 2018.
Amazing. And
Yeah.
what were your first thoughts of those first couple of months in Whistler?
Whistler is just a dream.
Yeah.
Right? I was just like, couldn't believe what I was doing.
It's funny, isn't it? Because I feel like sometimes we have these dreams and then the reality doesn't always live up to the dream.
Yeah.
But coming here to BC, it's like the dream exceeds, or the reality exceeds the dream, or at least it did for me, and it sounds like for you.
Like in the bike park, you have the bike park. In that time, I stayed 3 months. I broke my foot, came back to Chile. But those 3 months were like the best thing. I was like, summer in Whistler is amazing. The lake life is amazing. I mean, you have the bike park that is already like like creme, it's like the best. But also the things around the bike park.
That's it, isn't
really
it?
special.
The long days, the warm weather, the wildlife,
Yeah.
hanging out
like,
with good people.
Yeah. And I was like also guiding.
Okay, great.
And I was a canoe guide for the River of Golden Dreams. So if someone comes to Whistler, it's like a good thing to do. If you don't want to bike, you can
Definitely.
the river.
Good thing for those on the expedition on the rest day.
Yeah, exactly. That is a chill, nice day. And did that for in the mornings, and then I would go to the bike park. And yeah, I went to different places. I didn't come to Squamish.
Okay.
Didn't know.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now that I look back, it's like, damn.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's good. And obviously, like, Squamish is insane.
So what ended up bringing you here to Squamish?
So I broke my foot in that season
Okay.
in the bike park. It is easy to do those things when when you're trying to push yourself.
Did you feel like there was a sense of, I guess, like not having enough time, so wanting to ride everything possible?
That happens a lot, but I think that didn't happen to me, but that happens so much with the people that come for like a short period of time.
Yeah.
And I always talk with that to people, but at that time, it was like just an unfortunate crash at the end of the season that I jumped in this new hip in their merchant, and I lost my bike, landed on my feet in the bottom, breaking my foot, injuring the other one, and but I don't attribute that to like wanted to do everything, but I do attribute that like as a huge error of like for myself, but on how can I say it, of like trying to push something without having like the experience before.
Right.
Trying to do something without the experience, thinking that you're gonna do it, but now that I look back, it's like, okay, it's a hard feature for most of people, but start with something smaller.
Yeah.
And that's my takeaway from it. But also, it's mountain biking. Things happen, and it happened to you.
We've always got more clarity in hindsight, don't we? There's always those things that we might change, but I think if we're learning from it and that can be our takeout, then at least we're still gaining something from the experience, right?
Yeah, for sure. And the hard times.
I know you have, like, you've beat yourself up, you've broken lots of bones, you've had quite a few crashes, but I wanted to talk about, like, I guess your process or your wisdom now that you're older, you're guiding, you've had a lot of coaching, you take care of yourself physically. So I'm thinking back to a ride we had here in Valley Cliff when it was pouring rain. It was probably about as bad as conditions get in the middle of winter. And, we're right into, some rock rolls and some features in there. And it was quite a big one. It's probably like the height of a 2-story house. Anyway, I took a look at it. I said, no, not today. Anyway, you kind of took a look at it. You broke it down. And you said, I'm going to hit it. So you rolled down it. You made it look awesome. Then afterwards you said, that's the first time doing that. I broke my wrist on that feature.
I broke my ribs.
Your ribs, sorry. Remembering that incorrectly. But I wanted to ask you, like, what do you do when you're going back to a feature or a trail where you have had a crash or a pretty like traumatic experience on in the past? Yeah. How do you reapproach that?
That's a great question, because that thing on the hip, like when I broke my foot, it was definitely a crazy moment in my life. So I couldn't go back to the bike park, and then when I came back in 2020, and then I rolled that again, I was like, oh my God, I'm gonna ride the hip again. And I was like thinking, it's like, okay, just relax. You have more experience now. You know what I did wrong. So now you know what to do good, like the good, like. And I was behind this person, and the person in front of me. This is the second time. I just came back for first time on the hip of their merchant in Proline, for the people that are like know about this. I'm coming in, and then I see him going up, and then like hitting like so bad and putting his foot out.
Oh no.
Destroy his knee. Right there. Calling patrol and everything. That was my second time on the hip. So I got like traumatized for.
So you're coming into it with the baggage of like hurting yourself. Yeah. Seeing someone else get really badly hurt. Yeah. Okay, what was the third time?
The third time I was like, okay, this has to go. Third time is the charm. I have to hit these. And something that now I realize, I internalize about about mountain biking, before I would do it without thinking of like, oh, I'm just gonna do it. But now that I have coach and people have coached me as well, is learning about like the past. You have your past experience, right? And you tell yourself, you know how to do this. You have done similar things. You know, you have done this thing. You know what went wrong. So now you know how to execute it correctly, right? Other thing will be other part of it, because I think it's an equation of multiple things, is have that fear management, and also like the repeated I think it's two things. So, okay, I feel like that confused there, but it's like I feel like the fear management is one thing, and then you repeated an experience, repeating something, your skills, and developing those skills.
Yeah.
I wouldn't come to something now that I know I have all this experience now. I wouldn't come to something without trying something similar before.
Right, yeah.
You know.
So you're older and wiser thanks to all those experiences.
Yes,
Yeah.
for sure. I don't want to crash. Like I'm known for around like my circle to be the one that crashes.
Sandpaper.
Yeah,
don't remember
sandpaper. Yeah. So
Well, hopefully the sandpaper's getting smoother and smoother with old age, and perhaps less.
yeah. Well, there's few things too. There's so many components on mountain biking, I think. That is one, you have the mental part of it. Then you have your physical part of it. And then you have the mechanical part of it. So you have two mechanical parts, right?
Yeah.
You have your body
Yeah.
and the bike.
Yep.
And the bike, I learned I learned this like not through like probably all this time that I need here. That's just 5 years. I started when I was 16, but I think like I really started mountain biking, I think like around like 7 years ago.
Yeah.
Or 5 years ago.
I'd say the same for me. Like when I started my coaching journey was really when I started getting coached myself.
Yeah, totally.
And that was when my progression skyrocketed.
Yeah,
I was like,
totally.
what you're describing there is really like what I call the full circle approach.
Yeah.
Rather than just thinking about like our mindset and conquering fear, or rather than just thinking about perhaps how strong we are. We think about like building up our technical skills, so how we actually ride the bike, think about getting our equipment tuned for us and learning how to tune it for different conditions.
Exactly.
We do the off-bike work in the gym, we make sure we're mobile.
Yeah.
And then we also learn some mental skills to work through that fear.
I think those three components are and each of them are really, really important, especially when you get to on higher consequences terrain. And something else that can be external is the people that you ride with, and mentors, and the group that is like pushing as well.
Yeah.
You know?
I wanted to ask you this because I've noticed on our rides together, you're really good at trusting in yourself and your skills. And quite often myself or other people on the ride might be like, I don't like that because of whatever reason, or that looks slippery as hell today. There's no way I'm going to ride that. But you'll take a breath, you'll look at it, and then you either choose to ride it or not to ride it. But it's always your choice.
Yeah.
I notice you're very good at blocking out the external.
Yeah.
Is that something you do consciously, or is that something that just kind of comes naturally to you?
I think it's more, I don't think about the external. Obviously, I do think about the terrain there.
But like what other people are saying and doing.
No, I try to block that.
Yeah.
That's for sure. I think like for me, it's like knowing my capability of something. I know my capability of something
Yeah.
but also now since 2022, I became a dad. That's something a factor for sure.
Yeah.
I'm not like, it is kind of my job. It's funny because it is kind of my job, what I'm doing, but it's not like, I'm not like a sponsor athlete with. I'm not a sponsor athlete that is going to go and ride the rampage and stuff. That is like, okay, that it is.
You don't have to risk your life, but you do have to stay sharp.
Yes. And when I come to those moments, my approach is more in me. It's more like, okay, you have these. I've learned that my bike has to be correctly set up for it. I'm not gonna go and hit a massive jump or let's say like in the bike park, I'm not gonna go and hit like crab-apple hits with 20 psi in my tires. You know, I'm not gonna go and then here I'm not gonna go in the rocks when it's wet and I need the grip with 28 psi's in the tires. I'm gonna have the right tire, for example, with the right compound. It's like my suspension has to be appropriate for what I'm doing. And all those, like, I think bike factors are important. And then if everything lines up and it's just my skills that are like limiting, is when I go back to my past, when I was like, okay, all this experience that I've had, all these skills that I developed, I'm just like breaking down what I think that I think.
It's a very sound approach, man. I love it. And it really speaks to that, like if we don't, like say if we just build up one of those elements, like we really, say build up our technical skills, but we have no idea what tire pressure we're running. We haven't checked how much air's in our suspension for months. And if we did, we don't know what to do with it. It's like there's going to be a weak spot, and kind of going back to that full circle, I think of it like a wheel on a mountain bike. And it's like if our wheel is doing this, it's got a big buckle, or it's missing 2 or 3 spokes, like, we can probably still ride it, but only for so long, right? Before something collapses, that wheel explodes. And it's kind of the same with our skill set. Like if we're leaving one area underdeveloped, it's like, we can still go mountain biking, but like eventually it's probably going to be some sketchy moment or some crash. Whereas like you say, if we kind of control the controllables and we do everything we can, learn about all 4 areas and then keep adjusting, keep learning, we can kind of trust in that, like, I've done the work, I deserve to be here, I've rode some similar things, I can do this.
Yeah, totally. I think that's the whole process. And then, like trust is a big thing.
Yeah.
It's like trust in yourself.
Definitely, man. And then I guess like you were guiding kayaking, you were doing the guiding in Chile. I'm curious, like how did you come to be working at RideHub?
That was like super random, but like it's like just it lined up really well. Going back on how I got here, when I left here to Chile, all with broken bones and stuff.
Right.
I recovered, and then I broke again other bones. So like in a few months after I broke my collarbone, I recovered, and because everything is part of biking, I think. And I went guiding to like hiking guide in Patagonia, in the very deep south of Chile.
Amazing.
COVID happened, but I had the plan to come here. I already had like my young professional or like working holiday with the same company that I was with. I was everything lined up. I was like, okay, because I really tasted Whistler. I was like, went to Chile with this like knowing that I'm gonna come back to Canada, and at this time I'm not gonna leave because this is what I want to be. And being there, COVID happened, pandemic happened, the dream was like gone. It's like the guy here was like, no, we're shutting down. There's nothing happening. I'm like, okay, whatever. I'm just gonna. Anyways, just move on. One day, someone was like, "Hey, actually, send me a newspaper or something that they were looking for people that already had job offer, and they will let them in the country because the borders were obviously closed." So I contacted them and I came in.
Amazing.
So I came without like, okay, if they deport me, whatever, I tried, you know. But I went through the border. Quarantine for 2 weeks, and then I just got here in 2020, and then I started a job met a bunch of Chileans as well. They were like kind of trapped here. They were all bikers. And that was like the start of like a dream life, to be honest.
Yeah, amazing.
Yeah, it was great. Like I met so many. At that point, it was like okay. But it's like I was looking around to like my circle of friends. Everyone knew friend, but everyone in the same the same tune. You know, like everyone just loved biking, just wanted to bike, and this is where I learned really is like races wasn't a thing. It's like just enjoy biking, and with your community, your community will just go out in nature, enjoy biking, do silly stuff, just mess around, just push yourself, push the limits between you and like what's possible for each of you, you know?
It's amazing what that does, isn't it? When you've got that community of like-minded, like-skilled riders, and you're all kind of encouraging or inspiring each other to keep getting better. And like you say, just having fun without the pressure, just messing around.
Yeah.
It's amazing how that will speed up a rider's progression.
And here in Canada, it's like you meet so many crazy good riders, and like they're like carpenters, electricians, and like waiters. They do painting, and it's like so many people can be like rental athletes. These corridors. But in 2020 was when I did a summer up in Whistler, and then I don't ski. I did ski back then, now I ski, but I met with all that Chilean group. They had a house out here in Squamish, and I was like, I'm moving down to Squamish.
Like, you can ride bikes almost all year round in Squamish.
In winter. Nice. And we rode all year round, even in the snow.
Yeah, right.
And I started dare jumping then, and that's like a huge, so if you guys like, something that I recommend 200% is just get a hardtail and work on your entire jumping skills. I think that's, okay, honest, with the best mountain bikers, they like, no downhill racing and stuff, but they are, in my opinion, the best ones are dirt jumpers.
Yeah, dirt jumpers and BMXs, right?
And BMXs.
It's like they're on the most basic piece of equipment, so that just means their technique has to be that much better.
And when they move to mountain biking, it's like, oh man, I should have done BMX before.
Yeah, 100%. I feel like that all the time.
Yeah, totally.
I see this in your riding too, like the dirt jumping shows across the way you'll have a technical trail and then all of a sudden you're making shapes on it. You're finding gaps or you're hopping from one side of the trail to the other.
Yeah, so, like definitely shapes you. And I started dirt jumping like super late in my biking.
Yeah.
So like just 5 years ago.
Okay.
And it totally like changed everything. Everything. And well, anyway, RideHub.
Yes.
That decision, like I was still working in Whistler, but having a blast during pandemic, honestly.
Yeah.
I was like, and then met my now wife, and after dating for that year, she got pregnant, and we became a dad, and that's like the best thing that has happened to me in my life, to be honest. Mountain biking is after that, but yeah, having a child was a big challenge, and one of the challenges was like being around. I moved my work to Squamish, and it started something that I just found necessary to do. I started painting for a company, but it was like I live right there in Valley Cliff, and I painted all this stuff all here.
You painted this building?
Yeah, not this building actually, but all the townhouses. Right?
Yeah, right. There you go.
So I was like right there.
You gotta do what you gotta do.
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
That's a good
and I was like, okay, this is maybe it's my path. It's my career, and it's something that I can support my family with. And you know, we all have our crises. I'm sure that you have your.
Absolutely. Yeah, I've had more side jobs than I like to admit.
Yeah, right. And everyone, the people listening, we go through all these crises, and for me, it was a huge one.
It's hard when you've got this burning passion and like this thing that you know you'll put on this earth to do.
Yeah.
And for whatever reason, circumstances, you're like, I can't be doing that right now.
Yeah.
It's challenging, eh?
Ooh.
Yeah. Right. So eventually,
I couldn't do that anymore. I was like, right, I have to find something else. And the only thing that I wanted to be, he was out in nature and biking. And then I figured out whatever. I figure out what I can do with,
yeah.
you know? So for that summer, I just like applied to a bunch of different guiding, coaching jobs everywhere. And one of them was RideHub. And RideHub, but then like they were transitioning into ownership. And I would just got there just in that. And I went for a coaching position. And they're like, you know what? For your experience, like, do you are you interested of like overseeing the operations here?
Yeah, amazing.
I'm like, yeah.
Yeah, I was curious. I was like, did you work there for a few years and work your way up? That's really cool to hear that your experience landed you that job.
I really had like really cool friends there.
Yeah.
Shout out to Yanni and Jacob there, and like now and Sean as well, and people have gone. Some people new there, and it's been 3 years now, and you had Ollie here, and he's
Exactly. I was like, you got to shout out Ollie. He's been on the podcast.
Ollie's a great. Yeah, he's really great, and Ollie's like me and Ollie are like. We just like support so much each other and create fun things really. And we have so much fun in RideHub.
And guiding wise, like what do you love most about showing people or getting to show people the trails in Squamish for the first time?
The Squamish, like we never touched on that, but like when I started riding Squamish, I was like, this is better than Whistler. What?
Yeah.
Like this is like the gem that is like hidden, you know. There is such a variety, and there's like the best riders in the world actually come from here.
We're going to piss off some Whistler people here that I've got to agree with you. Best trails in the world, hands down.
Yeah, I mean, Whistler is great, like, but nothing beats South Chairlift, right? But trail riding here is incredible. It has so much history for mountain biking. It's like the Mecca, really, is around here, and it's getting more popular also. But showing people for the first time the trails, like everyone's buzzing. It is like, and now that I'm here for a while, and I don't know all the trails because there is actually like 1,000. Yeah. Probably like legal one. I think I read the other day, it's like around like 500 to 600 like legal trails, but
yeah,
that could be the double, right? Like double.
I'd say at least, yeah.
So
it is pretty mental, you know. I'm the same as you, been around for a similar amount of time, and it's like we work on these trails every day. Our job is to show people around the trails. We don't know all the trails, just because there's just so many.
Yeah.
Mental.
And like the access is amazing, and honestly, like this town, Squamish, is super special. I think in the world, to be honest, to be cool. Like you have the fjord right there, the mountains, the granite of the Chief, so scenic, and the community as well. The biking community is huge. You don't see everyone trying to like be the best, or everyone's a lot of like enjoying mountain biking, being out in nature, and you will find your own community of people and like-minded as well. And I think that's when I guide, and I've been guiding for professionally for over 10 years, and it's all sort of guiding.
Yeah.
For hiking, a lot of biking. city tours.
Mentioned canoeing as well.
A bunch of canoeing. I did a lot of canoeing, and kind of like the communities. I mean, in this case, the trails is like the core of it, but also just to experience what is around here, it is what is also super special. So in our expedition, we're from Squamish, Whistler, Pemberton. There are 3 different towns that are like very different, all of them, even though they're super close from each other. But you have a Squamish, that is a growing town, logging town that was like super under the radar until like more recently.
Yeah.
Has grown a lot. And also Whistler, our resort, ski resort, like a dream as well. It's literally kind of like a dream town where you have like this tiny village where you have like restaurants and you walk around and you have the lakes. This is all summer. Ski is great. Skiing is amazing, but I think summer is better.
I got to agree, because I feel like in winter time you have a great time. If you're skiing, it's a powder day, it's bluebird, whatever.
Yeah.
And then afterwards you're all cold and wet and you got to deal with that. It's dark at 4 p.m.
Yeah, you don't go anywhere.
Summertime, you can have these fantastic long days out in the mountains. There's no rush. And then you finish and it's like, oh, we've still got another 6 hours of daylight. Let's go to the lake. Let's go for a swim. Now what? No, let's go for apres. Let's go for a beer. Like,
amazing.
It's just like these dreamy days that never seem to end.
Yeah. And then you go a little bit north and you have Pemberton, where there's like this farm town. I don't know how you could describe it.
Yeah, it's definitely more rural, isn't it? It's a valley, isn't it? It's got these giant mountain peaks on either
Huge
side,
mountains.
but then these flat fields full of farms, of breweries that grow in their own valley. Yeah.
Stunning town. Mount Curry, right there when you're biking. And the biking is really good. I mean, it's really different than Squamish. It's like a lot of like fast trails and like beautiful like turns, and yeah, it's like all these 3 towns, I think they have like their different vibe to it.
That's the beauty of it, isn't it? And for those listening that don't know fully what we're talking about, if you haven't listened to the past podcast episodes or whatnot, Joaquin and I, we actually met through us creating this expedition together with RideHub and with Ollie, who was a past guest on this podcast. So I kind of reached out to you guys, kind of looking for a trip partner to run something here, because like you say, it's such a special place. You don't have to travel far to experience 3 very different riding areas, and just the ability to be able to have a like life-changing experience is so high. I was like, we can't not do this.
Yeah.
You guys were on board right away. You kind of shared a similar vision for wanting to get something happening here. So now that's all up and running. That's happening in July this year.
Yeah.
A few spots left. If anyone listening is interested, there'll be a link down below. But yeah, kind of getting back to like the why. I wanted to ask you, like, firstly, I think you've kind of already answered this, but like, why travel across the world if you're from Chile or Australia or New Zealand, wherever? Why put your bike in a bag and go to all that effort to come here to BC? And then why come on this expedition?
Well, if you're a mountain biker, I think it's kind of like the dream.
Yeah, still live your dreams.
Yeah.
I feel like for a lot of people, it's like that, like one day, or like I'll get around to it.
Yeah.
So being like,
as you say, it's like there's a few things in life. Like if you like mountain biking, you're gonna like wanna have that lifetime experience, and I think this place offers that.
yeah,
and not just going to one spot, and like I feel something important that I realized like over the years is like how good is to have a guide, and how good is just to get taken care of, like everything else, all the things that are involved in a trip, and just to go enjoy. And here I visited for a short period of time, and I knew that I wanted to come back because it's like you're breathing this passion, and also around you everyone is in the sun. It's like nice. You see the highway like full of bikes.
Yeah, there's a bike rack on every car.
Racks everywhere, and it's like, yeah, like you get. I think people, you will relate to everyone, right? And yeah, that's and yeah, and like meeting new people as well. I think it's a whole thing. As I was saying before, like guiding when here's the trails. I'm from Chile, and I was guiding alone in Chile. There's like the culture there is like what people can bring, like what sort of people would be appealed to, you know. And but here's the trails and the people around that, you know, how things work and like how can a town like this be like drawn so many of these people that are like us,
Yeah.
like-minded on a sport, you know, that is just basically passion, you know.
Totally. And I guess like what we're really looking to create here is the opportunity for people to make it happen.
Yeah.
You know, it can be so hard like to find, you know, your 6 riding buddies and try and get them all together to all take the time off work and book, and you know, someone's got to figure out what trails to ride and book the accommodation and where to go and hire cars. It's a nightmare. Like it's a full-time job.
Totally.
And I guess you and I are similar in the fact that we were both young dirtbags. Maybe we're still dirtbags, but we're getting older. But we've had those trips where we've DIY'd it and we've done it the hard way and kind of learned from that.
Yeah.
So many headaches, so many learnings. So I think like for me in like crafting this trip with you guys at RideHub, it was like from the get-go, like let's be really intentional about this and make sure we iron everything out. There's no kinks. Everything is just as easy as possible for the people in this experience so that they can focus on having like that bucket list day every day for the 10 days and not have to think about the nitty-gritty stuff that we're taking care of. So
Totally. And we're proud to say that also RideHub and you as well is like we're very professional in trying to push this industry in a super professional way where is all instructors, guides, where we can help you throughout the riding, but also safety is a huge important thing, especially in our sport. And if you're going somewhere else, that's one of the most important things, because just to finish the trip without any injury.
Well, that's it, right? Like our aim here is to bring people over and let them have this bucket list experience, to experience the trails here in BC, but also go home a better rider. And that doesn't happen if you go home with a broken bone or if anything like that.
Yeah, totally.
Okay, so that's, like you say, that's a big part of it. Like there has been, I think, a bit of an explosion of people just running BC tours here without perhaps the proper guiding certifications, experience, emergency management plans, like all of these things in place.
Yeah, totally.
Not to mention the land permits and all of those things.
Yeah.
And I see the same thing, you know, down in Australia, in Tasmania, there's what we call like the cowboy operators down there. Hiring a vehicle, getting some people together. It's super cheap. Let's go.
Oh yeah, Chile's the same.
Yeah, nightmare stories. We don't need to get into those, but really what we're going for here is the opposite, isn't it? It's like, hey, we're here as your coaches, as your guides, to help you really like live the experience that have been in your dreams.
Oh.
I know so many riders and like us growing up watching mountain bike films, but nowadays people are watching YouTube and they're probably already like getting an idea of like, oh, there's these trails in Squamish, you know, like I want to ride Rupert. I want to ride Half Nelson, whatever it is.
Yeah.
It's like we're here to help you develop the skills you'll need to ride those trails. Yeah. Because I know a lot of times when people just come here by themselves, they'll get here and be like, oh, this isn't...
It's like, I want to ride this trail. I was like, okay. It's something important. It's something important to remind you is like, intermediate trail here probably is like an advanced trail where it's coming from.
So it's like that's where those skill sessions are going to really come in handy, I guess, to bring the riders up a little bit so that they can ride the trails they want to ride. Yeah. That brings me to another question. This might be a tricky one, but what do you think is the biggest skill, or like the number one skill or thing you find yourself teaching riders that are new to Squamish? So they're already riding at like an intermediate or strong intermediate level. What's the biggest thing they need?
Yeah, I think like here there's two things. There is something super particular that is like not many places in the world. That is the granite, right? Like slabs. And a lot of people want to know or want to like learn that. I want to ride that in and out burger slab, and and like the barely adequate or like stuff like that. And then people are not used to the steep of the terrain. And I feel like being an intermediate to advanced rider are like there where I think those two things are what I usually like, end up instructing, like, for example, using the brakes.
Yeah.
Like using your position, your body position to put more weight in your front wheel, for example. So then your braking is more effective.
Right, yeah, so tying together the body positioning and the braking.
Yeah.
Yeah, I find a really similar thing, and I think Ollie had a similar answer as well.
Oh, yeah?
But yeah, it's funny, isn't it? Like pretty foundational skills when we look at like our skill pyramid. We've got position and balance, and then we've got operation of controls. So body positioning, braking, the bottom of that skill pyramid. But then we talk about applying them to like some pretty technical, pretty steep terrain.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, it's like really little changes we can make can have huge differences to like, oh, I've got way more control now. Okay, now I feel way more confident.
Yeah.
Okay, now I'm set for a fun day.
Yeah, totally. I think like also, it's like there's a lot of high expectation. I feel when people come from outside. So, because all the media they're looking at, or Remy or Johan and stuff. It's like, it tends to be like, okay, that's actually harder level, how you would think.
Yeah.
So let's start with
everything looks easier on Instagram or off the GoPro, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So yeah, I guess that's a really good point you bring up, like your motivations of like, okay, I want to ride this thing. I want to go all the way to BC to ride In-N-Out Burger. Why do you want to do that?
Yeah.
Do you want to do that for a clip to put on your Instagram, or do you want to do that because you feel like that'd be a fun challenge for you?
Yeah.
And that's always a good question to ask when riding anything, and maybe something I wouldn't necessarily answer until I go and have a look at it for myself through my own eyes. And then I might say, actually, yeah, a little self-check here.
Yeah.
I think this is a little bit out of my league, or I think I need to go and get some more mileage on some easier stuff first before we come back to this at the end of the trip.
Yeah, mileage is important. It's a really important thing. And yeah, bike setup. There's so many things.
There is. And luckily for the riders on our trip, they won't have to learn this the hard way, because they'll have us to say, okay, this is our goal.
Yeah.
We're going to go do this, this, and this first. This is what we're going to work on.
Yeah.
And then day 3 in Squamish, that's when we're going to go to In-N-Out Burger.
Exactly, and it's like that's the good thing about, I think, like one of the best thing about guided trips is like you set your expectation and you can like, okay, this is it. Then you leave it to professionals and we'll make the plan. And well, the plan is like, okay, is this progression? So we progress, obviously, but also have tons of fun and shred and be safe, and then end up the trip on some better rider and like with friends and having beers and just be like, oh man, this isn't the best.
That's it. Like, I can't wait. That's the best part of running these trips too, or one of the best parts is just hanging out with the crew. And I think this one's going to be really special, like having the space at RideHub as well as like our kind of home base.
Yeah.
So like we'll be picking the riders up from Vancouver Airport straight up here to Squamish, but then it's like coffees, lunch, whatever, hanging out, building the bikes.
Yeah.
And like you say, like they'll have us there to like set the plan, but that's going to be in collaboration with the group as well. And it's going to be like, hey guys, like what do we actually want to get out of this experience? What kind of stuff do we want to ride? What kind of skills do we want to work on? And then having those regular check-ins along the way, you know, over dinner, over a beer each night, and then maybe over coffee in the morning, like checking in. How are we? Have we got what we wanted out of this yet? Is everything else a bonus from here? Or is there still some, you know, skills we want to work on or trails we want to ride? So yeah, super excited to meet the crew. We've got some legends or some familiar faces that were on our Tasmania trip, and then some new riders as well. So yeah, check out that one down below if you're interested. Man, we've been chatting for a while now. It's probably been an hour or more.
Okay.
I lost track of time.
Whoa, crazy.
Goes fast, eh?
Yeah.
To round this out, I wanted to ask you, what does a perfect ride look like and why?
Yeah, for me, really like the perfect ride is just riding with my friends, to be honest. Whatever.
Yeah.
Honestly, whatever. It would have like, I feel that's really important, at least to me, is having friends around and riding and just pushing our levels and trading and checking out stuff. And then just finishing a long day, hopefully, a very long day. Hopefully you do a lot of mileage or a lot of shuttles or whatever you want to do, a lot of bike park, but with friends. And then you end up with a cold beer and maybe just like relaxing somewhere beautiful. Yeah.
Doesn't get much better than that, does it?
Doesn't get much better than
I love that answer because it is the simple things, isn't it? Just
Yeah.
like, it doesn't matter what we're riding, where we are, as long as we're out in nature, having fun with good people.
Yeah.
Ticks the box for me.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
Awesome, dude. Well, thanks so much for this chat.
Thanks for having me.
It's been fantastic
that
to
was fun.
dive into your experience a bit more. You guys listening, thank you for listening. Hope you got a lot of that out of that podcast. We'll have some links to RideHub if you'd like to learn more about Joaquin and RideHub down below, and also the BC mountain bike expedition. And Joaquin, until next time,
Yeah.
happy trails.